We continue this afternoon's press conference. We have head coach Pascal Jansen. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. We'll get started with Roberto.
Pascal, it's been a tough 2 weeks for the team with the injuries. Can you give us an update on what the injuries are to Perea, to Alfonso, and that's the first part of the question.
Alonso, you mean?
Yeah, Alonso.
Yeah, Alonso. Yeah. Both guys, unfortunately, have severe injuries. Pepe got injured in the game against Charlotte, and Alonso got injured in the second game with the national team. I won't go into any details, but it looks like it's two injuries that occurred from playing on turf, unfortunately. So, but the bottom line is we'll be missing them for quite a while. So they're not available for this important game for us. That's about it.
So obviously it changes a lot for your team and how you play, plus you're missing Aiden O'Neill. So for this game in Philadelphia, I know I'm not going to get a lot of strategy talk, but how does this affect you and how do you overcome this?
Well, anybody that is not available for our team to play the match that is upcoming is going to affect the details in the qualities that the individual can bring to the game. These guys have been playing a lot of games, but like in any game, when somebody's not available, somebody else steps up and plays the game, and that's what we've been about all season. So no changes in approach from that angle.
Thank you.
Question?
Obviously, it's a next man up mentality. You know, is there anyone this week that you've noticed that's really kind of taken the reins and said, "All right, I want to be the guy that fills that spot"?
I would rather turn it around. I haven't seen anybody that wasn't present. Obviously, we had some guys playing for the national teams, and today was the first day that everybody was on pitch that was supposed to be on pitch, so that was a good thing. So apart from Alonso, everybody from international duty came back healthy, and that is always the most important thing once they're on the road with the national team.
Even just that, you mentioned that break. I mean, how much does that disrupt the flow of everything you're trying to do here to go 2 weeks without really getting a chance to work with these guys much than to go into the middle of a critical matchup like that? How do you balance that? How do you deal with that?
Well, we've dealt with it so far because you have no choice. It's just the schedule. We did have an open conversation about it amongst ourselves, staff-wise, but also with the team. When you're in a best-of-3 series against Charlotte, and there's a lot of adrenaline and a lot going on, and especially when you're on the right end of the result, it's always unfortunate when everything goes away instantly and you have to wait another 2 weeks before you have to build that tension again. So I think we found our way in the last 2 weeks in order to stay fresh and build up the tension towards this important game. We have one more session to go. That's tomorrow before we leave, and then we're ready to go again.
We'll go with Sean, followed by Sienna.
Both you and your opposing coach are new to their teams. The first year bump, so to speak, doesn't typically last all season, but both of you, here you are in the second to last game. Do you see any commonality in how the both of you are here with such limited tenure with the teams?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I can only judge from my own perspective. I've been welcomed into this project from day number one. Felt very appreciated, very respected throughout the first season. Saw my team grow. It's something that we talked about quite often throughout the season. And I'm expecting that my opponent has similar thoughts and similar feelings. Won the Supporters' Shield, obviously. Had a great season, and now we're head-to-head in a do-or-die game again. So I'm looking forward to seeing him and his team.
Sierra?
So that leads really nicely into my question, actually. Thank you.
I knew that.
So Esteban and Kayvon and I were talking a lot about how you've changed the culture of the team. And what I want to know is, as head coach, what standards do you set with your behavior and your actions to ensure that you have the kind of team that is successful on and off the pitch?
That's quite a bit to get into, to be honest. But I'm going to tell you this. My approach is based on lead by example. So, from day one, it's not just me, but I made very clear where my standards lie and how I see things. But I made a very clear picture of what it looks like, what I'm looking for, and then gave everybody a chance to let that sink in, and then determine for yourself how you're going to behave in that spectrum with me and the rest of the staff, making sure that we follow up on things. But like I said, if you want to get into detail, we'll have to have a different conversation, because that's quite a bit.
Well, I guess I'm just curious about, like, what are you looking for? Are you looking for guys who are, you know, they really focusing on positive mindset, or on training, or what specifically are you asking of the team?
Yeah, but that's what I said. It's not like 1, 2, or 3 things.
Right.
It's multiple things. Behavior obviously is a big part of it. My background is from Europe, so I also have to be aware of the fact that how things are being done in the US is something that they're familiar with also. But I have a very clear vision and a very clear perspective in how I think we can grow into the next level, and from that again into the next level again. So like I said, I have painted that picture from day one and made it very clear why I wanted to go into in that direction, and what I expect from my dressing room. And until now, I've been very pleasantly surprised by everybody, because the growth of the team in several areas has been outstanding. But still a long way to go, because we can't be satisfied yet.
Thank you.
When you look, I mean, playing Philadelphia a couple times now, you split the season series, there's a familiarity with that. When it comes to playing Philadelphia, what in particular about their game makes them such a tough team to play against, and what is going to be the biggest thing for you guys to try and contain that?
Well, obviously they've been very successful this season with the Supporters' Shield that they won, so the confidence level will be very high. We're one of the few teams that have beat them in the regular season. This was the game in New York. It was a very close game in Philadelphia. Typical, I would say, is they're very comfortable in chaotic situations. So for us, it's very important to, like we did in game number 2 in Philadelphia, that we dominate the ball, making sure that we create calmness within the chaos is what I've spoken about with my guys. So that will be key for us in order to make sure that we control a good rhythm of play, make sure that we keep the margins very, very, very small, because like that game in Philadelphia and the game in New York, for that matter, were decided on small details, which also tells us there's 2 competitive teams with similarities in several areas, but yeah, like I said, the margins are very small.
And I understand focus is on the playoffs right now, but there's a couple of reports that have come out about the interest about Justin Hack overseas and among other MLS clubs. I know his contract's coming up. I'm curious, just in terms of your vision for the future of the club and his role in it, have you expressed any communication with the front office about where you see him fitting in and kind of making sure he's retained for next year, a couple of years down the line?
Yeah, well, you started off with the question or with the remark that it's all about the playoffs, and that's what it is. So personal interest about individual players or whatever they plan for the next season is irrelevant.
Onto the Zoom, we'll go with George.
Coach, George from the Exchange. I just asked Hannes before about your messages towards, the players that have to fill in for the guys who have been down with the injury, the next up mentality. Can you tell me a little bit from your end, training-wise, how everything's been and everybody's been getting on for this game? And then my second question is a message to the fans who are traveling down to Philly for you guys for this important matchup.
Well, first of all, towards the fans, we all appreciate it very much that you're going to travel out to see us play in Philadelphia. And the one thing I would like to say is I hope after 90, 95 minutes or so that you're happy to see us play, and that we got the result that we're looking for, and make you happy to have the long trip back home again. The other part, with the players that are not available, and how do we address that? We worked our way through the past 2 weeks with some guys not being available because of national team duties, but the majority was here, so the focus was on a few details, a few things that I find very important going into this match with the players that were present, and those things got addressed for the past 2 weeks. Today was the day that everybody was on pitch again, so we could address a few more details and make sure that we're fully ready to go into this game.
Michael?
Pascal, it's Mike Andrew from Blue City Radio.
Hi, Michael.
Given the injuries, where do you think it's going to affect, or how do you think it's going to affect where you guys try to play with the ball on the field?
Interesting. If you see the guys that are not available, it's in the spine of the team. We have Pepe and Aiden, who have played a major part in midfield. Tico is quite obvious, our top goal scorer. 3 key figures that are not available. But like I said, the other 3 players that are going to play are going to step up and play their game. And that is something that our team is about, has been about all season. When somebody is not available, the next one steps up and brings his quality to the game. And the rest of the team is aware of the qualities of that individual. And that is going to be the story of Sunday's game.
Anyone else? Great. Thank you, everybody.
Recording
Thanks,
stuff.
Josh.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.